We just closed out our books for September, so let me take you behind the scenes for some of Bashfy's numbers. First, we have our income. What did we charge out to clients for the month of September? So for our services, we charged out $48,576. And then for our e-commerce, which is mainly DIY balloon kits, grab and goes, and our helium bar, we charged out $27,975. So if you add those two together, you get the whopping number of $76,551. We like this. This is a nice and juicy number. So now we're gonna go to our cost of goods sold. So how much do we have to spend to actually make these services happen? For balloons, we spent $6,261. Supplies was $6,624, and then vendors was $910. Sometimes when we do balloon installs, specifically around large numbers, we'll outsource vendors, so that's where that number is coming from. So if you add all those together, you get the whopping number of $12,885. So now if we take the $76,000 minus this almost $13,000, we'll find our gross profit, which ends up being $63,666. But as always, this is not what your girl's taking home. We have a lot of expenses to go over. So first off, we have our ads, which was $7,418. Which when you split them up, we spent $2,664 on Meta, and then we spent $4,754 on Google. If you guys remember, our ads expense actually used to be a little bit higher, and that's because we had hired a Meta ads expert. Part of the reason this number is significantly down is because we put a pause on working with our Meta ads expert, and despite people saying that that was a horrible idea, our e-commerce number actually has gone up from last month. We didn't stop our Meta ads, we just stopped the person who was tweaking them, and not because he wasn't doing a good job. He is fabulous, and we are going to be working with him again. Basically, we just had a little bit of work to do on our end to get our conversion rate up, and because the DIY kits start naturally slowing down around this time anyways, we actually decreased our Meta ads budget, and then we're able to allocate more towards Google, which, as you can tell, was very successful. Believe it or not, I do have plans and know what I'm doing over here. So then for office and software, it was $5,031. Part of the reason this number is so large is because that actually includes our Shopify shipping cost. For whatever reason, that's just how Shopify does it. Rent was $3,501. Payroll was $13,977. This does not include paying me or my husband. This is just our employees who work. Meals was $970. This includes our free lunch that we do every Thursday, as well as meals when we are out on the job. Utilities was $687. Vehicles was $2,370. This is also higher, not because we got a new vehicle, but because we've actually been having a bunch of jobs, so we've had to take our vehicle as well as renting U-Hauls, and this also covers gas. So that's just been higher because we're busier. Legal, $5,000. I don't have anything else to say on that. Still very, very much ongoing, whatever. Taxes, $4,007. So if you add all of these numbers up, $42,963. So now if you take this $63,666 number, which is our gross profit, and then subtract our expenses from it, that's where we're gonna find our net profit, which ends up being $20,702, which this is what my husband and I will pay ourselves out of. And now to find our profit margin, we're going to take our net profit number, this $20,000 number, and then divide that by our income, which is the $76,000 number, which ends up being 27%, which you guys, I'm personally very happy with. But just remember next time when someone says, I'm trying to find a balloon artist who doesn't charge an arm and a leg, that number is probably not as high as you think it would be. But anyways, I hope that helps.